Hey moms, welcome to the Gather Moms podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Rebecca. We've created this space just for you because we're both moms and we get you.
Yes, we believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and we need to be in this together. We also believe we can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Gather Moms and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
All right, mamas, let's jump in. Welcome back, moms, to the Gather Moms podcast. It has been a hot minute since we have had a podcast.
A hot minute. A lot has happened.
Maybe a cold minute, because it really hasn't been hot yet.
It has been cold, but man, time has flown. How are we already in February and February is about to be done?
I feel like something's happening in the world that we don't know about. How do we get here?
No, it's all happening real quick. Because we signed off, at Christmas, and then a lot of life has happened.
Oh my gosh, moms, so much life has happened since then. Listen, you just need to know you're not alone in this world because we got our own sets of struggles.
Yes.
Hitting the Kate and Rebecca bus. We're going to talk about those. Actually, that leads us into our new season. We are so excited to introduce our new Gather Mom series to you. It's called Mom Interrupted.
That is right.
Because our lives have been interrupted.
And are constantly interrupted. And you think, okay, if I can just get to this, things will be calm. And then, nope, it's not.
I was reminded because I was chatting with a mom at church the other day, and bless our little ones, they just need to ask you that question right in the middle of your conversation.
Yes.
And you can't just say one time, hey, baby, hang on. You got to say it like 12.
Yes. And, you keep showing them the one finger, just a minute.
Maybe we're showing them the wrong finger.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the pointer where you hold it up just a minute. So that was happening to me at church the other day. And, but Caroline's 6. She should know better by this point, But we're all standing out in the foyer talking, and she keeps tugging on me, Mom. She's wanting to go play on the playground. And, basically that's fine, but I'm in the middle of a conversation, So I finally had to say to the person I was talking to, excuse me for just a moment. I had to lean down to her and say, when mommy puts one finger up, that means wait. You just have to wait until I am done.
They don't know the meaning of that word. I really don't think they do. They have
it's
no
hard.
idea what wait means.
Yeah, it's hard for them.
And even I have a 9-year-old. I mean, if Caroline's struggling at 6, what's happening with my 9-year-old?
I mean, yeah, always. If they want something, all they can see is what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bless their little hearts. So what's so funny is that in the last couple months, Kate and I have had some major interruptions to our life.
Yes.
And that's what kind of prompted this, is just this whole idea of motherhood is just a constant barrage of interruptions.
Yes.
And it really is how you react to them that can set the tone for what happens either the rest of the day or the rest of your month.
Yes.
So I want to tell you about my interruption. So in December, I walk out my front door, 35 a.m., got my robe on, take my daughter to school, and somebody has hit my car.
Now, okay, but you didn't see it happen.
I did not see it happen. Okay, I never park my car in the street. We have a garage. I park in the garage.
Yeah.
I think maybe Christmas decorations were in the garage.
Sure.
The boxes that you haven't put back up.
Yeah.
So I just happened to park on the street once in a year.
But you didn't hear this happen?
I didn't hear nothing.
What?
Nothing. So this sweet lady had just delivered something to my porch, and she's parked across the street from my house. She comes running across the street. I saw it happen. I'm saw what happened? And I come around the back of my minivan, and this precious mom had hit my car.
Yeah, and
hit.
Yeah.
And because she'd had an interruption, because when she turned the corner, her tire blew. She didn't mean to. It just happened.
How does that happen? How does your tire just blow out of nowhere?
Well, I don't know.
But I mean, that's crazy.
Something.
Interruption.
So, for a split second, I'm thinking, do I go back inside and change? No.
You have your robe on.
Everybody's taking their kid to school.
Rebecca, and your street is the street where all the cars line up to go do school drop-off. So you have got major traffic happening out there.
The entire community saw me in my robe that morning. Thank goodness it was my fluffiest robe, so everything was properly hidden. But I was I do not have time.
Shout out Barefoot Dreams.
Thank you, Barefoot Dreams. I do not have time to go back in the house. At that same moment, a friend of mine drove by taking her daughter to school.
Yeah.
And was ooh, I'll just pick up Abby. So she puts Abby in her car. Listen, this is the funniest part. The woman that had hit my car had driven a little bit because I think she was trying to figure out what to do.
Sure.
So she was up a ways from my house. So I had to walk down to her. Well, she's got a kid in her car that has to get to school. So my same friend stops her car right outside and she's like, hey, I'll take your kid too. We don't even know this person yet. I have no idea what's happened.
The best.
We are picking up kids on the street to take them to school. That's what moms do, right?
Yeah.
Listen, we just all get on the train.
Yeah.
Let's get in and go. So, and honestly, it was fine. God gave me a great perspective on it. It's just a car. It's fine. It can be fixed. Obviously, I was excited. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
So somebody else's insurance is paying for it.
Sure.
But the repair ended up taking over a month.
Girl, I know. You were driving that other minivan for forever.
Okay, the other minivan they gave me as a rental looks exactly like mine. It's a different kind, but it looks exactly like mine. My kids hated it. They did not want to ride with me ever.
Why did they hate it?
Because they're like entitled children that apparently thought whatever minivan
was
we
a
have,
downgrade.
Yes.
Yeah.
But listen, I loved it because this rental minivan had a heated steering wheel.
Yes. That
Do
comes
any of y'all listening have a heated steering wheel? Because y'all,
No.
I need to tell you right now, the next car I buy will have a heated steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing
That's
ever.
bougie.
It's
Yeah.
so bougie.
Yeah.
It's amazing how when your hands are warm, your whole body feels warm. Everything felt warm.
My new car has air conditioned seats. Like, it not only has heated seats, but has air conditioned seats.
That's even bougier.
And it feels like I am winning at life.
Okay, but we aren't in July yet. We got to wait till July when you have those.
No, I know. I can already imagine like how
gonna be
happy I'm going to
amazing.
be to feel those cool breezes coming up my shorts.
Listen, I just know when I get in the car, them leather seats, they like singe
Yes.
some back of your thighs.
Yeah.
So can you turn the air conditioner on before you sit down in the car?
Ideally, the next upgrade would be the remote start. We don't have
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But
One at a
yeah, if
time.
you're really living that life, you've got a remote start with air conditioned seats.
and a heated steering wheel.
Yes.
These are on the Gather Moms wish list.
Yes.
Okay, but I did not just have an interruption in my life. Kate had an interruption in her life.
We are currently sitting in my youngest child's bedroom recording this podcast. We are holding the mics in our hands.
They're heavy.
They're heavy. We are sitting in, these random chairs. And we came in this room. It has carpet because the tile guy is in my bathroom. So we found out at the late fall that we had a leak from our master shower into our master bedroom. But it had apparently been going on for a long time because then when you started pulling up the carpet and ripping out the drywall, then there's mold everywhere.
Listen, all them documentaries are like going through your mind of what you've been breathing for the past how many years?
For sure. And if
My
you
body
saw,
is full of toxins. What?
if you saw my stories, as soon as I saw it, I took pictures and stuff for insurance, but then I put on masks and a glove and I just started ripping stuff out because that stuff oogs me out, ripped it all out, laid down those black construction, but I opened them up to make them like sheets, laid those down with, taped them all up. And then
Construction
I did
with Kate.
second layer. It was super cute. So we lived in that through Christmas because I was like, I cannot have our lives, you have to manage the disruptions,
Yes.
how much disruption can I handle right now?
Yes.
I cannot handle having Christmas and all of this going on and us being in the state that we're in now. I guess I'd rather have mold lungs, So, but they came on the Monday after Christmas. If you remember this year, Christmas was on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, you're have
Did you tear all your Christmas down on Sunday?
hangover. A lot of things so then on Sunday after Christmas, we had to go into our bedroom and take everything out. Bed, blinds, dresser, everything out of our master bathroom and what we needed out of our master closet because we were not going to be able to have access to our master closet for who knows how long, at least a month.
Did you take everything or did you pick and choose?
No, I picked. So that's part of what I
Do you have
learned
some
from
regret
this,
right
though.
now
No. So that is what I learned from this is, I went a month with the 15 things that I picked from my closet. And that's what I wore. And it was simple. When I went, because we're using the little underhaul closet. Jeremy and I have both of our clothes on this one bar. And you had to just pick. These are the things I'm going to wear.
And now you're so free because you don't have all these choices.
Right.
Yeah,
I can't go pick from, 20 pairs of pants. I got 3, I can't go pick from 100 tops. I've got 6. You know what I mean? Literally, you had to just kind of pick what you were going to take, which shoes. And that part of it has been very eye-opening for me. Okay, clearly I do not need all the stuff I have because I'm not using any of that.
Right.
Right. But anyway, by the grace of God, we have another room, our office. So we put our bed in the office and, have moved in there. That's where Jeremy and I are living and sleeping. But there's no closet in the office. So the dining room is our closet, so as soon as you walk into our house, it's like, there's our laundry baskets. There's our dressers.
I came in today and she was like, these are the pants that are drying on this chair. These are the shirts that need to be hung up on this chair.
Yeah. So it's just been madness. So anyway, it was like Ghostbusters came in to get rid of the mold. I mean, these guys in suits and everything, it was madness.
Which makes you wonder, you've been living in it and here they come all decked out in their astronaut gear.
Yeah. It also reminded me of, I don't know if you remember on Monsters, Inc., when one of the, somebody came back from the kids' world with a sock on it, and all those guys dropped from the air. I mean, that's what it looked like. So, but they came in, they cleared everything out, and somebody came and pronounced, this house is clear, and so then the contractor work has started. So, they've had to tear everything out, and it's become a snowball. If you've ever done a home reno project, you just know, so we've got to replace the tile in the shower. Well, now the tile in the bath and the tile on the floor and the countertops don't match.
And listen, Kate likes to match, y'all.
She
likes to match.
I was not going to just pick out some random tile, but so it's become a whole thing. So now we're looking at, it'll be 2 months at least where we have been out of our room.
And in one bathroom with a family of 5.
Oh, that's the kicker.
That's
I haven't
the kicker
even
for
mentioned
me.
that.
I can't imagine sharing a bathroom currently with my teenage boys.
Yeah.
I just can't.
We have a half bath upstairs, and that has come in handy many a time.
Oh, yeah, because if somebody has to go to the bathroom,
yeah,
you're either going in the backyard.
Yeah, but the kids' shower is overflowing with shampoo bottles. Because everybody got their own shampoo, and it's been a lot.
So she's going to be really excited for this interruption to be over.
Yeah, because honestly, man, it's just something else to juggle. It's just another project to manage. When are these contractors coming? Okay, well, they didn't show up, so now I got to call this guy. It's just something else to manage.
Yes.
And it's weird having people in your house all the time working on stuff,
Well, and that's the thing with interruptions. It really is something you have to manage.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take it with the right perspective and the right process, it can totally ruin your day, your week, your month.
Yeah.
It can throw you off. And so, honestly, I think moms are really good at managing interruptions because we do it all day. Sure.
You've got to be able to pivot and, go with the flow because the flow is going to go. It's going to change.
That was like a little rap.
Thanks.
Kind of reminds me of the Super Bowl halftime
Wiggy,
show.
Wiggy, Super Bowl.
Listen, y'all, if y'all watch a Super Bowl halftime show, I didn't know it was happening. I lived in a bubble.
Whereas I'm I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. Yeah, we had a great time. That was a lot of fun.
I was like, can we just get back to the
But
football game?
I did get tickled because all of our group were like, okay, well, how old is Snoop? How old is Dre? Everybody's Googling it. Then, of course, I open Instagram, and that's what all the memes are about is, 56, 51. That was crazy.
My favorite meme from it is, I don't know who the guy was that was hanging upside down.
50 Cent.
Okay. And the meme is that this is what it looks like when you're trying to grab your phone when you drop it from off your bed. And you're leaning off your bed upside down trying to grab your phone. I'm like, that's so good. There's some good memes. There's some good memes.
We all laughed because 50 Cent showed up and we were like, oh, he's put on a little bit. It's got to be an older guy here. Yeah. So.
That's what's coming for us, y'all. It's coming.
Well, and it got me so tickled when Mary J. Blige, just laid out on the roof. It was like, yeah, girl, we know you're tired. You're 50 and doing all that mess, when they bring out when the Rolling Stones or whatever used to, do reunion tours and stuff, that's fine. They're just standing there singing. These people are dancing and twerking and moving around.
Well, and her outfit probably weighed 100 pounds with all them bedazzled jewels.
Yes. So good for you, girl. Just take a nap. You did good. You did good.
So when we talk about mom interruptions, let's just list some of the most common mom interruptions that we get during the day.
Sleep.
Yes.
I'm trying to sleep.
And some kid needs something.
Always.
Last night, Abby, Mom, are you awake?
No.
You know how you keep your eyes closed because you're trying to ignore them for a little bit to see if they go back?
Just go figure it out, dog.
No, it doesn't work.
Sleep for sure.
Every time I need to use the restroom.
Every time.
It's at that moment that somebody in this house needs something.
Yes.
While I'm in there sitting on the toilet.
Yes. On the phone. You
Oh,
know,
yes.
So I work from home, and so sometimes I get business calls, you know, where I need to like be professional Kate, you know, and so I'm sitting in my office talking on the phone. Caroline comes in, Mom! I'm like, oh, excuse me for just a moment.
How about that phone call? And when you pick it up, it's the school nurse.
Oh, when I see it calling during the day.
Please don't let it be anything that I have to go get my kid from school for.
Yes. Talk about day interrupted.
Yes.
You know, and especially in the COVID era, if they've sent that kid home, and I don't even know what things are like now, but when I got that call when that was all a big deal, I mean, Lydia had just sneezed and her teacher had sent her to the office. And so at that time, the protocol was you've got to take them to go get a COVID test, and they couldn't come back. And those, you know, then it was taking 3 days to get a test. I mean, talk about life interrupted.
You're like, okay, now what are we going to do for the next 12 days?
Yes. Thank you. No, I have this kid who is clearly not sick. She had to sneeze.
Yes.
And yeah, now she's my counterpart for 7 days because she can't go back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hang out with me.
Yeah.
Listen, we still go into Target and the grocery store.
I
all the
mean,
things.
yeah, that's fine. I guess you're not spreading it at the school, but
Listen, mine is in the morning when I hear the trash truck coming down the street and I've forgotten, which really my children should be the ones putting those cans at the end of the street. But in our neighborhood, if you miss it, it's only once a week.
Yeah.
And my trash can does not hold 2 weeks worth of trash.
girl.
So it don't matter if I'm in the robe. I am running.
Booking it.
Running the cans.
Yeah.
Down to the end of the street.
Yeah, that's in our house. That's a Caleb job. And if Jeremy comes home from work on Monday and the cans aren't out at the road, Caleb has to pay him $8.
Why $8?
I don't know. That's some amount that they agreed upon. Yeah.
How many times has he forgotten?
We have given grace twice and he's had to pay once. So as we were implementing the rule, you know, Daddy gave grace twice and then he paid up once and he hasn't had to do it again.
They hardcore in the Henderson
Listen,
house,
we don't play.
man.
No, you do your job.
Rebecca's out there in her robe dragging him down to the street and
Yeah.
Caleb's having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Every time my husband and I start a conversation,
Yeah.
you know, not like a fun one, but like, okay, we need to talk about this. Oh, there's that kid standing right there.
I don't understand it. Like, clearly we are trying to have a conversation. You are not invited to this. We are people. We can have our own conversations.
And usually one of us is the perturbed one in that
Yeah,
moment. Like one's kind of the grace, like,
Yeah.
okay, baby, what do you need? And the other one's like, don't say, turn around, walk back out that door. You know, it's like you flip flop on like who's the nice one in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't handle it. I'm like, I feel like when they see anybody talking, they should just close their mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No.
So, moms, we understand that there are interruptions all the time. And in this season of the Gather Moms podcast, we are going to laugh about all those daily interruptions of life. We're going to share some wisdom, some advice on how to manage these mom interruptions. And we're also going to stop down on some heavier interruptions.
Yeah.
Because we loved getting to hear from you from our survey that we sent out.
Yeah.
Was it a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah. It'll be about a month. Yeah.
You guys were so honest.
Oh, man. It was awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, being honest with us, telling us about your life. It really does inform what we know you want to hear about from Gather Moms. So we're so excited to get to talk about some of those big issues because we know that some of you are going through like some heavy interruptions, health crises, trying to find time for spiritual disciplines, feeling left out and lonely, needing mom friends and community, finding purpose for whatever season of motherhood you're in. Some of you are navigating mom guilt, feeling anxious and overwhelmed, trying to figure out how to discipline your kids for whatever new season they're in. There really are some heavy interruptions that we as moms experience all the time.
Yes. No, that feedback was so helpful. You know, it's just so good to hear from all of you. And I think the thing that surprised us that shouldn't is that we're all in the same boat. You know, we all feel the same things. The things that you guys rated as what you're struggling with the most are for sure the things that we are feeling too. And so I'm so thankful to have that feedback from you guys so that we can speak into directly where you need help the most.
So one of the funny things that I was contemplating last week or, you know, a couple weeks ago was Valentine's.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have interruptions in our life that I knew was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it. But I don't know if I just ignored it or forgot about it. And like the day before Valentine's, you're like, I need 24 individually wrapped somethings to send to school with my kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes these holidays sneak up on us.
Oh,
and
man.
they interrupt our flow. We were just trucking along, getting people to school and dinner on the table, and now we're trying to add in, oh, let's celebrate. What are we going to celebrate?
Yeah. No, I know that Super Bowl Sunday, was Super Bowl Sunday, so that's a whole thing. My nephew got baptized that morning, so we drove to East Texas, came back Super Bowl Sunday. Then the next day is Valentine's. We got to send, I have 2 kids that we still need to send Valentine's for. And it was Caroline's Star Student Week. So it was like,
oh, the Star Student poster. We need to add that to the interruption list. That thing will throw the whole day off.
it was just a lot. It was a lot. And Caroline, I was on top of it because her teacher had told us like a couple weeks out, hey, this is what we're doing. The kid needs to bring their own box. That's always the dreaded line in the email from me is the kid needs to bring their own box. Listen, y'all, can I donate $20 and y'all just decorate some bags?
No. Listen, all I need for them to say is bring a bag. Not a decorated bag, just a bag. I mean, does the Walmart sack work? Because I'll send that. I will do it.
So Lydia's class, we didn't find out until the Monday before Valentine's, and which is fine. I mean, I should have anticipated it anyway, but I just kind of thought maybe that her grade wasn't doing it, because they were older.
Such a win for moms.
Right.
Yes.
I thought, maybe we're out on this. So, then I'm scrambling. Anyway, but yeah, it was a lot. That weekend was a lot.
You know what's so funny? I feel like I saw like maybe a 6th grade mom like post like she was sad that they weren't doing Valentine's in 6th grade. I'm like, girl, that's a time to celebrate.
No, you good.
You are good now.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry anymore.
No, and take all that money if you're sad. Take all that money and put it toward a sweet gift for your teacher. Like we're good. The rest of us are very happy when 6th grade comes around and we don't have to buy 55 Valentines and make a box. Okay, so Lydia, and then her teacher said that she needed to have a box too, and I was like, dang, because it was the week of, I'm like, how are we going to do this? And I said, Lydia, we have to make a box for you too. And she goes, well, Mom, I have that little mailbox that we made, a couple of years ago still in my closet, and I honestly had a hallelujah moment. I got tears in my eyes. I was like, Lydia, really?
I'm so glad you're a hoarder and you saved that. Good job.
So she had it. Oh, so that was a good kindness of God moment. Yeah.
You know what? And sometimes it's good for us to have those moments where, like, we kind of have to stop the pace of life to enjoy something that's in the present.
Yes.
Because it really does end up being an enjoyable moment for you and your kids, And I've seen so many sweet pictures of Valentine dinners and gifts and, dates with your kids. Valentine's really was a sweet moment for our family, too, just to stop down and just love on each other.
Yeah.
And we have another holiday that's coming up as well that we're going to help you guys out with.
Yes. Because, Easter is coming up. And I think holidays, like you're saying, are a great opportunity for us to say, okay, here's an interruption on the calendar. How can it be an interruption for good?
Yes.
How can we use this to kind of, to say, okay, hey, let's shake things up a little bit. Where does my eyes need to focus? What do I need to be paying attention to that maybe I've missed? And man, Easter is such a great opportunity for that and a beautiful time for us to reflect, remember, prepare our hearts to celebrate.
One of the things that you've probably heard talked about across all different platforms is this idea of Lent. So Lent actually goes with Easter. It's the 40 days that come before Easter. And it's a day where we remember Jesus' 40 days in the desert where he went off and he spent time alone with the Lord and was actually tempted as well. But it's kind of a way for us to stop down for the 40 days before Easter and prepare our hearts for what's coming. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about Lent today.
Yeah.
First of all, the first day of Lent is Ash Wednesday. And I remember when I was in school, in high school, and these kids would come to school on that Wednesday and they would have these ash crosses on their head.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I ever asked what it was for, but
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all what it's for.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed people with a smudged black cross on their foreheads. They're actually ashes from the Ash Wednesday service, and they symbolize our grief for the things we've done wrong and the resulting division of imperfect people from a perfect God.
So good.
And now in my time of life where I am right now with the Lord, to me, it's so tender to think about that moment of remembering when I was separated.
Yeah.
Because we really jump past that a lot and we just get on to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Eternal life, salvation.
Here we go.
Party in heaven. And so I think that's a really neat way to start the whole Lent season is really
Yeah.
to remember there was a time at which I was separated from God.
Yeah.
And my sin was what was holding me back. So that's Ash Wednesday. The next special day during Lent that we celebrate is Maundy Thursday.
Yeah.
Do you say Maundy?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what
Or
that means?
Monday, but it's Maunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
Spell
know.
it.
Maundy?
Oh,
Is that-
okay.
I don't remember.
No, Day. Okay,
Okay.
Maundy Thursday. Maundy. Pick a lane. Let's drive in it. You go.
Okay, so it's the day before Good Friday, and it commemorates the night before Jesus died when he shared the Passover meal with his closest friends and followers.
Yeah.
The next day is Good Friday.
Yeah.
And I was reading on this today, and it talked about how, it's interesting that we call it Good Friday because that's the day that we believe that Jesus was crucified. And the good reflects how Jesus' death was a sacrifice on our behalf so we could receive God's forgiveness for our wrongs. So for us as believers, that really is a Good Friday because that's the day that Jesus was able to restore that relationship with us.
It is good. And it's so weird to call it good, but in the upside down kingdom, it is good.
Yes,
Yeah.
It is. And then, of course, Easter Sunday, the joyful celebration of Jesus rising from the dead to give us the opportunity for eternal life. And, of course, that's the one that I think all of us celebrate, but I don't know that I've ever specifically celebrated all those other special days during the month of Lent.
Yeah, because I think traditionally, if you come from a Baptist background or, depending on what kind of denomination you grew up in, we didn't have these kind of liturgical practices. And so, but if you are a Catholic or Episcopalian and, you may have been exposed to that much more, whereas, we don't always have those rich, beautiful practices, and even those practices can be devoid of meaning if it's just something that you do out of like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. We show up to church, we get this ash cross on our head, right? Mm-hmm. But I think for me, because I didn't grow up with that, being able to practice this is an opportunity. It feels like an honor to be able to mark off a place in the calendar to say, I want to lean in here. I want to prepare my heart to celebrate Jesus rising.
Exactly. And for us as moms, I think it's a good interruption for us to really stop down in our faith and consider some of these things that really are the hallmarks of what we believe and how we live.
Yeah.
I mean, Lent is really a breaking down of ourselves, like realizing the humbleness from which we come, that I did nothing to deserve the gift. I offer nothing to Christ in return for the gift. And ultimately using that sorrow of my sin and grief to then exult in the glory of Easter Sunday when he rose from the dead and all things were changed for eternity.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful part. And I think one of the things that we really hope to give you mamas is an opportunity for you, even if you've never done it, to get to celebrate Lent with us at Gather Moms.
Yes. Yeah, so excited about that. So this was a dream Rebecca and I had about a year ago. As Lent was kind of happening, we said, man, this would be a really neat thing to do with our moms because we know that you guys, just like us, we don't want the days to just pass away. We want to be intentional about them. We want it to matter, and we want when Easter hits the calendar to go, okay, my soul is ready for this, and so we wanted to give you the opportunity to prepare your hearts with us for Lent. And so we're going to do something really neat that we have never done before. We're excited to be able to provide this for you guys. So what we're going to do is on our Patreon channel, starting on March 2nd, Ash Wednesday, and for the 40 days leading up to Easter, we are going to read a scripture for you guys that helps celebrate Christ, and we will give a takeaway from that scripture, and then we will pray over you. So it'll be about a 5-minute episode. But that gives you an opportunity to every day just press into the Lord. And then if all you have is that 5 minutes, then that's what you've done. But if you would like to, then you have the opportunity to spend more time with God in those scriptures. We're also going to have a printable for you and a PDF that you could save to your phone that has that reading plan. And so when you subscribe to our Patreon, you'll have access to all of those things. You'll get an email every day when that new episode hits with that verse and all of that. It'll show up in your email inbox, and so that you are getting reminded in various places to read that day. And so for Patreon, in case that you have never done that before, Rebecca, I know that you're listening to our episodes on Patreon because we have our breakouts from our mom event.
Listen, I'm having the best time listening to our Patreon. Like, I've known about this forever, y'all, but I just recently was like, I'm gonna start listening to this.
Yeah,
it is so good. We have so much good content on our Patreon.
Yes, and so Patreon is exclusive content. Are you listening to it through the app, or did you add it to your podcast feed?
So I actually added it to my podcast app, which makes it super easy.
Yeah,
it's a separate icon from the Gather Moms regular podcast.
Right.
But it's super easy when I go into that. It's already preloaded all those Patreon episodes for me, and they literally just play back to back to back to back. It's excellent.
And we have how to do that archived in our Instagram stories. So if you ever want to know, how do I take Patreon and put it into my feed, this is how I do it. But you guys, in case you don't know anything about Patreon, because 2 years ago, I had heard podcasters talk about it, and I had no idea. Patreon is a platform for creators to help receive financial encouragement.
That's right.
For their work, to be supported for their work is basically what it is. And so for us at Gather Moms, we are a nonprofit. Rebecca and Jenny and I do not receive a paycheck for our work, but we want to be able to put out resources and provide all the things that you need. In order to do that, we are funded by you guys.
That's right.
And so on Patreon, you can subscribe at $5, $10, or $15 per month. And when you do that, you get access to all of this exclusive content, and you will get access to Lent. And if you subscribe at the $15 a month, you get to be part of our Ask Us Anything lives, and you get 25% off in our shop.
One of the things that I was reading about with Lent is that there's several pillars that go with Lent. One of them is prayer. Yeah. So it's the whole idea of that throughout those 40 days, you're really focusing your prayer life on Christ. Also fasting. A lot of people will choose, and you guys have probably heard this, mamas. This is kind of like the most popular part of Lent, I think.
Yeah, what you give up for Lent. Yeah.
You're giving up something for 40 days. You'll hear people talk about giving up chocolate or social media or whatever. But the idea is biblical. It's that you're fasting from something that you hold dear in order to take that time and energy and give it back to God.
Yeah.
And so really, it's not like a fast, like I'm giving up chocolate and I'll just eat something different. It's in the moments that I desire chocolate, I'm going to actually turn that back towards Christ, and I'm going to tell myself that I want to desire Christ more than I desire chocolate.
Yeah, that's right. I love it.
But the other part that I read about is this idea of giving, that really those 40 days of giving is also 40 days of Lent is a chance for us to think about how we can give from what we have to others.
Yeah.
And I know this may sound weird to you, but when you give to Gather, it makes a difference in the lives of mamas.
It does.
And so if you were to support Patreon for these 40 days of Lent, it would actually be a part of your blessing to us, that you're giving back to us, because we want to make sure that all the moms, wherever we can find them, we're trying to go all over the world to get all these mamas, can have access to these resources. So we're so thankful for your gifts, especially through our Patreon account.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we're doing this. I think I have meant to be more strategic about Lent in years past, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. I feel like it feels doable. It feels good, as a busy mom, but still I do want Christ to be my priority. And, I'm thankful for the opportunity to hear these scriptures and then be able to read these with my kids at night, and there are so many Lent plans out there and things. And Rebecca and I really looked over all of these things and all of these opportunities we had with the Bible, and we chose what we felt like would be best for you guys. And I really think that you're going to love it. It's doable. Some of these plans were reading, 2 or 3 chapters a day, and we were like, no, we cannot do that to our moms.
Well, and I think probably some of you are thinking, I can't add one more thing to my to-do list. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to celebrate Lent and do all these other things. But even in the busy world of work, kids, home, and repeat, we can all find small ways to break out of our routine and become more mindful of how we're living during Lent. So in this season of your life, you give what you can give.
Yeah.
If you've got the 5 minutes to listen to the podcast, then do that. If you've got 10 minutes, then read another scripture. If you've got 20 minutes, then sit down with your kids and talk about it. But I really think that God, who cares for us like a loving parent, understands your season, and he's going to bless the time that you offer to him through this. Yeah. And I think you can also just decide, I'm just going to make short time for small things. So if you have 5 minutes, you can spend that 5 minutes in prayer. If you get in your car and you've got 3 minutes to drive to the school to pick your kid up, you can spend that in prayer.
Yeah.
Just looking at your day instead of trying to find like an hour chunk, and just finding those small chunks where you go, I can make this short time matter, and just say a small prayer here.
I love that. That's so good. Because I think that's how we want to live as moms, where throughout the interruptions, we have that woven spirit of God with us all day long. So that becomes our knee-jerk impulse, instead of, maybe wanting to go to chocolate or wanting to grab a drink in the evening because, you're cooking dinner and you're like, wow, it's been a lot. I'm going to turn to this bottle of wine. that we would start getting into more of a rhythm when those interruptions come along where we're saying, okay, Spirit, I need you here. I'm calling out to you here. I see you here, right? That we would grow more and more like that. And I think this is going to give us the opportunity to do that.
So guys, we're so excited you're back with us for this next season of the Gather Moms podcast. We are going to have so much fun. Please, if you have not, signed up for our Patreon and join us for this Lent study. We really think it's going to be a blessing to you. We know it's going to be a blessing to us because we are going to be doing it right along with you. Yeah. And we are praying for you. We love you so much.
Bye, moms.
Do you love the Gather Moms podcast and want even more streaming content? Go to patreon.com/gathermoms. Patrons that support us at any level get access to all of our audio resources, including our Tween to Teen series.